Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagatguru. So if anyone is new, then I am telling you that we are studying Bhagavad Gita, but not as generally we do, verse after verse, shloka after shloka, but we are taking concept after concept, so that we can understand the way it can be useful to us. We are not here to complete a textbook. We are here how much we can learn from Gita, Bhagavad Gita. So we started from the beginning. In between, as the concept will come, we can try to correlate the concepts with our spiritual life, personal life. Every religion in general have these three aspects. One is rituals, going to temple, doing different types of pujas, or going to church, going to mosque, and following certain practices. There are some religion who has minimum rituals. In a way, they are blessed in that way, that they have minimum rituals. But again, having minimum ritual is detrimental to the individual progress, because your basis doesn't become strong. It is something that educational system, where they do not have kindergarten. Earlier also we never went to kindergarten. All the basics of education they don't have. So in the same way, rituals. Islam is one religion where has minimum rituals. They have minimum. Christianity also have rituals, but not that many. But if you see the Asian religions, we can divide fundamentally the 10 popular religions. Asian religions, then Middle East religion, and the Western side religions. So one side you have Judaism and Christianity, one side you have Islam, from where the Baha'i came, then you have Zoroastrianism, all within that region. Then you have the eastern side where maximum religions came from. You have Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, Taoism. So like this, there are distinct Asian and non-Asian groups of religions. In Asian religions there are more rituals, but at the same time they have a intense, clarified philosophy. So there are three aspects of every religion. One is ritual. Ritual is that which you practice, which must have some meaning and which must have some significance. Without that significance and meaning, those activities may not make you spiritual, may not make you divine, God world, or in general spiritual. So it is good to have rituals. Now rituals doesn't mean what you do in the temples. Anything you do physically for the sake of religion can be put in the category of ritual. You're going to pilgrimage also is a kind of ritual. Your simple practices of cleanliness also is a part of ritual. Otherwise you would not have done. But for the name of religion you do it. And of course the rituals which you perform inside the temple are the rituals. Then there is aspect which is called historical or mythological aspect. All your stories behind the religion. Say there is a founder of a religion, his life, her life, what he taught, what he did, where he did, he established some ashram or temples or mosque or this and that. So that falls into mythology. In context with Hinduism, your epics, Ramayana and Mahabharata, your Puranas, there are so many Puranas. There are 18 normal Puranas, 18 Mahapuranas. And these Puranas could be historical, could be non-historical. Then the third aspect is philosophy, is the heart of the religion, which is in a way goal of the religion. Why do you do in religion what you do? What is the philosophical aspect that you want to achieve? Definitely, we must ask this question regularly to ourselves. What I want to achieve by doing this, as far as religion is concerned. Do you see any scientist going to laboratory? Before he enters laboratory, he does 3 times like this, or he does like this few times, or he does a kind of, or gestures of hand. That doesn't fall into the rituals of that religion which is called science. But his experiment have another combination of some rituals which is supposed to do. Think of the industries. In a simple factory, people go inside where the shoes move around. There are some industries, you keep the shoes outside. Maybe you wear certain things before entering the lab. Then there are gloves you wear, or caps, or mask. So these are rituals to enter the lab. So there are rituals, then there is a mythology, story part, and then there is a philosophy part. Philosophy part is always abstract. No person involved. Only the principles are involved. Only ideas are involved. That is called abstract. Abstract is something which you cannot draw, cannot show as a picture. Go to Google, first click the images and search for love, image of the love. So you may get a heart, you can get a kiss, you can get a this, which is expression of love, is a ritual of love. Love doesn't have a picture. Love is abstract. Right compassion. So you get a picture of like that, or a picture of like this. But these are ritualistic pictures. Compassion doesn't have a picture. Why I am telling is to understand the difference between the gross and the abstract. Philosophy is always abstract. Today I was talking to a group. Take Bhagavad Gita. Among Hindus, maybe serious but easiest text to read. Just give me 1 minute to say something. If you have not read Bhagavad Gita, thinking it is very difficult, I do not know Sanskrit, doesn't matter. Take only 1 day. It may take 2 hours for you. And you decide, today I will do it. Take any Sunday, any holiday, when you are free. Take a simple Bhagavad Gita with only translation. English translation, whichever language you want to do. Read only the translation. 700 slokas. Every sloka will have 3 to 4 lines. So maximum which is 2800 lines. Maximum how many pages? Maybe 100 pages or less than 100 pages. So it is not difficult for you to read 100 pages in 1 day. You can spend some time here and there and in 2-3 hours you can finish. Do it. I remember one gentleman. He is a professor, very, very celebrated professor. Many countries recognized him, expert in his own field. So he says, Swamiji, I have never read Bhagavad Gita. So you have any plan to go to America? So next month I am going. Take one Bhagavad Gita, I will give you if necessary. While going you read it once, while coming back 14 hours you can easily read it. He did it. And he said, now at least I know in general what is there in Bhagavad Gita. You have a comprehensive, some idea about the Gita, what it is. Then when you read, you will understand the relation between that. So that I wanted to say in between. I remember, we chant also. I remember I read the whole Bhagavad Gita many times. From chanting also, from the meaning side also. There was a time when I was staying in Allahabad, Prayagraj, and the train used to take 3 hours to go to Varanasi. So when train starts, I start chanting Bhagavad Gita. By the time I reach Varanasi, Bhagavad Gita is completed. There are 2 aspects. One thing, you come to know in general what is there in the whole Bhagavad Gita. Secondly, when you complete it, it gives you a boosting, a confidence that, yeah, I can read it. Religion is to do. Religion is for practicing. It is not for imagination. You must do something, practice something, being and becoming, Swamiji says. So 3 aspects: rituals, mythology and philosophy. Rituals are the gross or a concrete form of philosophy. Philosophy is very abstract. So when philosophy concretizes, it becomes ritual. So now you have to connect between the philosophy and the ritual. The ritual is a concrete form of philosophy. So you need to, what is the reason behind my doing this ritual? Sometimes rituals are symbolic. All the actions which you do to reflect or to convey your emotion which is abstract. When a mother says to the child, I love you, love is abstract. So mother does a ritual. Mother will kiss the baby or pet him or give a chocolate. This is a ritual to do something, to show what I mean by love. Same thing goes in religion. The philosophy conveys something, so it is translated into action. Do something, pouring water, offering flowers, offering food. Hinduism is very gross in a positive sense. We not only worship the symbols, we really give a human form to the God and behave as if he or she is sitting in the temple. That other religions cannot digest. Yesterday it was a piece of stone. Somebody carved it into a statue. Today you say it is God. How the stone can become God overnight? So if they talk to people like us, we say, no Hindu ever told that the statue is God. No Hindu. No Hindu says that statue is God. They know it is made of statue. It's made of stone, marble, metal. It's a symbol which is much similar to the person as he or she was or is imagined to be so. And when it is in front of you, your emotion flows because you are considering that statue as an image of God. Sri Ramakrishna used to meet the Brahmo devotees. So Brahmos don't believe in idol worship. And also, God is always him, he. So Sri Ramakrishna told them, since you don't have a form of God, why only he? Make the God she and give her a name mother. You will find your emotions will flow towards God naturally because you know what mother is all about. And hardly, unfortunately there are some, nobody has a negative memories of their mother. Very few people have because of certain social issues. And then the members of the Brahmo Samaj started writing devotional songs considering God as mother. And they started singing. There is no statue, there is no photograph, there is no form of mother. But if God can be he, why can't he? Why can't God be she? And this is what the prophets and incarnations do. They turn the minds of the people to flow in a spiritual way much easier and faster way. So you do ritual, still you are religious. You study mythology, still you are religious. You understand philosophy, also is a religious life. But the more you go from rituals to philosophy, more you become spiritual. Because rituals anybody can do, with devotion, without devotion. You can think any rubbish you want to think, but you can be inside the temple. Because these are external rituals. Anybody can do. You just learn how to do and you do it. That's why those who do ritualistic worship in the temples, though they are very respected people, because they are worshipping in the temple. But from one aspect, it is not considered good, because they have taken that as a profession and they are taking money to worship God. Even when Sri Ramakrishna went to Dakshineshwar first time, he says, no, I will not even take food from the temple. We take food because it is prasad. He said, no, I will not take. I give me kacha food, give me flour and vegetables, I will cook myself. Because those who do it, they have nothing to do with spirituality many times. I want to use some words here. Sri Ramakrishna told, after a long time when devotees and disciples started coming, because he used to do worship in the temple, so he has a share of prasad, because it's a huge organization. So one who does worship, one plate of prasad will go to him. If sometimes it doesn't come, Sri Ramakrishna used to remind, hey, where is my share? So one of his disciples, when Sri Ramakrishna asked someone, hey, today my share of prasad has not come. So the disciple thought in mind, he is a typical Brahmin, cannot leave anything. Whatever he is supposed to get dakshina, he will take. So Sri Ramakrishna could understand his mind. So he said, why I tell them to give my share of prasad? This prasad in the temple goes to many ill-famed houses by the priests. At least little prasad will go to the devotees. You see. That's why he doesn't want to take at that time. Nothing in return. Let alone research was done, old papers was taken out. Sri Ramakrishna used to get 7 rupees salary as a priest. So, rituals are the concrete form of philosophy. You can perform ritual throughout your life without being spiritual, because it is just an action. Correct? I am pouring water or milk or something on Shivalinga. Somebody can chant mantras. I can chant whatever I want to chant. Because it's an action, pouring of water, whether on Shivalinga or somewhere else. Rituals has to be connected. That's why every ritual has mantras. When you do this ritual, you say this mantra. Because when you say mantra, mantra means something. Even if you don't understand the significance of ritual, at least chant this mantra with it. So you don't go too much away from the significance of this ritual. Then there are stories given behind, which is a part of mythology. Oh, we must go to that temple and offer water to Shiva. Why that temple? Oh, that was founded by Adi Shankaracharya, or the very holy place. These are all part of mythology, which could be a history, which could be a non-history. You see, it's a Shiva temple, a temple of God. But the temple of God becomes more important because it was visited or founded by a saint. Temple is great because of God, not because of the saint. In Hinduism, those who are real saints, those who are realized souls, we say, they are given importance in terms of spiritual benefit from him or her. In Narada Bhakti Sutra, there is one sutra which says, who are these great people? Tirthi kurvanti tirthani. By visit of these people, an ordinary place becomes a pilgrimage. For example, if this book is there is a normal book, what is special about it? No, 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 no. Oh, the 150 years old book. It is the signature of Swami Vivekananda. Immediately you do like this. Why? Because of this connection. The touch of this man has made this book very precious. I was in a place in India. I stayed there for 4.5 years in the northeastern part of India. In that city, Swami Vivekananda stayed in the last year of his life for almost 3 months. And since he was staying there, people knew that he was a very famous person. So there was a dilapidated hall which was gutted by fire. So they renovated it. So renovated it, and here is a famous man staying in our city. Let us call him to inaugurate. It was a club, good club, no vices going on. Even Britishers used to come there. So Swami Vivekananda came there, inaugurated that renovated hall. Today it is our center. Just he went, inaugurated and gave a small speech. And that club or that organization, in their meetings, minutes of their meeting, I have seen that the great Swami Vivekananda can be invited to inaugurate this renovated hall. Next month, minutes I saw, Swami Vivekananda came and inaugurated this hall. Those 2 papers became valid in the court, and huge property was given to Ramakrishna Mission to do service, and today huge. Thousands of young boys and girls, tribals, non-tribals, all are getting a lot of services and facilities there. We have programs and computer courses and different kinds of courses for children, for adults, all. Just Swami Vivekananda visited there. Just he went there, inaugurated it. So the one visit done by him became the cause of good work after more than 100 years. If you go to Varanasi, very dense populated area, no vehicle can go there. Then there are colonies where people stay, very small place. But we go there to a particular house because Sri Ramakrishna stayed there for a few days in that house. So an ordinary place becomes a place of pilgrimage when these great people visit those places. Many places in India. So rituals are the gross form of philosophy. If you do not know the philosophy, if you do not know the significance from mythological point of view, those rituals become a simple action. Until you are connected with that ritual, the simple mechanical series of actions loses the charm and slowly dies out. People don't care. So it is necessary, whenever we do rituals, you should be deeply connected with it through the mantras, through the stories which you have heard about that, and the philosophy behind it. The more you travel from rituals to philosophy, more you become spiritual. More you are away from philosophy, you may remain religious, but you may not be spiritual. Priest doing worship in the temple could be absolutely atheist. Could be. Because there is a job for you. You open your office at 8 o'clock, he opens the temple at 6 o'clock. You clean your table, open your laptop, he cleans the statues, put some clothes and other things there. You type emails, he speaks some mantras. If there is no emotion involved, it becomes very mechanical. That's why the priestcraft is never considered as a spiritual profession, even if it is practiced in the temple. You respect a person because he is in the temple. I remember when Swamiji told us in the class while he was teaching us, why worshipping in the temple? Even if you sit beside the statue, you may not become spiritual. That's why this proverb came in English. Closer to the church but away from God. Because there are enough incidents of this type. So you travel from rituals to philosophy. Unfortunately, most of the people remain in ritual with little touch-up with mythological stories. Some stories, some significance they know. People don't want to study philosophy. And then there will be an imaginary idea that I am a religious person. Then you say I am a spiritual person, but you may not be so much spiritual as you think. What happens if you are only philosophical? If you pass through rituals and mythology and remain in philosophy, that is the best proposition you can have. Those who did not go through rituals and philosophy, rituals and mythology, directly touch only the philosophy. So the abstract, you have nothing to practice. Today I was talking to someone. You may hear about Vedanta, but there is nothing to practice. So what you will practice? The abstract thing has to be little gross in terms of thinking and doing something. There is a very famous incident. Kanchi Kamkoti Paramacharya, he was in his room and there is a Sri Chakra. So he was doing some worship on the Sri Chakra. So a male devotee who was allowed to go there, he saw everything. And after his puja and all that, because he used to give lectures on Advaita Vedanta. So he said, Swamiji, you speak about Vedanta to all of us, in your room you do ritualistic worship. Why? Look at the answer of these great souls. You see, some work I have to do anyway. I can't sit down, body will become stiff. And which can be a better work than puja? My mind also remains in God. My body also does functioning. My intellectual part also remembers the mantras and mudras and all that. And philosophy is already there. I know the significance of this. So when you understand philosophy, then you do rituals. It is like a bell curve. When you come down, here you start rituals without understanding. Slowly you understand the rituals, then understand the philosophy, then you come down to rituals again. So this ritual and this ritual has a lot of difference. It is like immature and mature, or mechanical and spiritual. These differences you will find in that. One of our Swamiji told that Advaita could be the highest philosophy, may not be the greatest. It is his view. I am not telling it is everybody's view. Then what is greatest? Come down and see God not only philosophically but also in your day-to-day life. There was a great saint called Madhusudana Saraswati. He has written a big commentary on Bhagavad Gita, which is mixture of devotion and knowledge. Some aspect you can see in a simpler way in Sridhar Tika. Sridhar Swami has written a small commentary which is called Tika. Shankaracharya has written Bhashya. These people like Tika, depend on the Bhashya. Bhashya is very, how to say, there is no word for it. So much clarity here, just like sound of the coins. So much clear. Tika is a utility part of that Bhashya, how you can make practicalize, etc. So this Madhusudana Saraswati, in his commentary, he says in one sloka, when you do these rituals, you don't know the philosophy. At that time, the rituals which you do is Dvaita, me and the God, and I worship my God with mantras. So it is Dvaita. Dvaita Mohaya. This Dvaita is a ignorance, delusion. In the beginning, when you start it, without knowing the philosophy, this philosophy is a bodha. This philosophy is a intellectual understanding come realization, whatever. So the Dvaita which you find before your intellectual understanding of Advaita is because of moha, is because of ignorance. But when you realize this, prapte bodhe, when you come down again and do the rituals, he uses beautiful word, bhaktyartham kalpitam dvaitam. The dvaita, the dualism, which you imagine, because you have already experience of oneness. Now you imagine the duality, imagine the dvaita, for the sake of bhakti. In Advaita, whom to love? I am the lover, I am the love, I am the beloved. Process doesn't happen. So little, you need little masti, you need little happiness, good activity. So you imagine God, okay, come out of God and sit in front of me, now I worship you. So he says, bhaktyartham kalpitam dvaitam advaitadapi sundaram. It is even more beautiful than the Advaita. If you see when we do puja, the process is very simple. First you imagine all meditation you do, God is sitting in my heart. Then there is a ritual where you take a flower and as if you are calling the God from your heart to come and sit in this flower. So what we do? How to bring God? Ritual. Not that God comes out of your nostril, no. Because this, so we do like this and as if I feel oh, something is coming out of myself. And imagine that God came out of me, then I put him there, worship him. Again, after home we do like this, something the Swami will do. It is called Sanghara Mudra. That God whom I imagine outside, I take him back. And that time what we do? We take back the flower like this and then take the God inside. That is the whole philosophy of ritualistic worship. All rituals. You don't need to find science behind it. It's imagination. God is inside us all the time. Now I want to worship that God. What you do? Take out God, put him in front of you, worship, then take him back. This is a simple ritual. But it's very effective. If God sits in my heart, what do I do with Him? Meditate. How long? So, imagine. Rituals is imagination. Bhaktyartham kalpitam dvaitam. You take out God from you, put in front in a very holy place. So where to put the God? You can't put God anywhere. So we put God in that Baneshwar Shiva. There is a Shivalinga with him. Hinduism is very interesting. This Shiva, Baneshwar Linga, it's a Shivalinga. It is like an empty capsule. Have you seen empty capsules? Any medicine you get, capsules, two parts. You can open it, remove the bitter medicine, put sugar inside and you can take it. This Shivalinga is an empty capsule. Any gods or goddess you can put inside. So it is called Baneshwar Shiva. Anything. Any god, goddess, whomsoever you want to imagine, you imagine. So then we worship on the Shiva. And after that we take him back and put the Shivalinga again in the niche, in the wall. So the whole play of being spiritual and non-spiritual, religious life is a very, how to say, religious life is a very hazy kind of concept. Because I see you only putting one big mark here, wearing one kind of dress, one particular kind of hairstyle, seeing that, oh, he is a religious man. He may be religious, he may not be spiritual. To be spiritual is altogether different. A person in a normal dress could be spiritual inside. He or she doesn't want to reveal that religiousness. Some want to, it's okay. So religious life is one thing who practices religion. But one who practices the religion, understanding the philosophy, is spiritual. So people who practice rituals, we should never say they are wrong. They are not wrong. In the hospital, patients also are there, doctors also are there. In the school, children also are there, teachers also are there. Both of them will say, I am in kindergarten. In the jail, officers also are there, offenders also are there. In the same way, among the religious people, there are spiritual people also and non-spiritual people also are there. Now, we as a member of the society, either you are taking help from the society from religious and spiritual point of view, and if you are mature, you will be contributing back to the society and enrich the society to be more spiritual or more religious by your contribution. You will be part of this active religious life. That's why people volunteer in the temples, contributing their services in the temple. There are some who may tell stories, understand the religion from that point of view. There are some who will say, okay, both are okay. Understand this also, philosophy. If you don't understand philosophy, your mythology will be just cock and bull stories. Your ritual will be a simple mechanical jugglery. Why I do, I don't know. My father told me to do, my predecessor told me to do, without understanding. And that happens with most of the people who do rituals. Most of the rituals we do not know why we do. You may not find the books which explains that. Maybe discussion with each other you will find more because everybody has some ideas. But eventually you must come to a conclusion, you might have your own meaning. That I do it because of this. Some people say, no, I like to do it, so I do it. Why you like it, I don't know. This I don't know is a very comfortable excuse. But I like it. Oh, he likes puja, he likes rituals. That liking doesn't mean much. That liking is mature when you understand the mythology and philosophy. That why these rituals would have come into existence at the first place. So to contribute back to the society, 3 doors: rituals, mythology, philosophy. These are the 3 doors from where we matured also from spiritual point of view. So these are 3 ways we give back. In short, wherever we are in this, there are only 3 steps. These 3 are major staircase, when there are small steps are there plenty. In rituals also, mythology also, spiritual philosophy also. Wherever we are, we should strive to go to the next stage, next step, not to the next level immediately maybe. Otherwise, we don't understand whether we are progressing or not. So society as a whole, religion as a whole, people should strive to go one step forward from ritual lowest to the philosophy which is highest. Then that religion survives. Religion doesn't survive. We have a very wrong notion that I just live my life. Ours is a Sanatana Dharma anyway, is going to remain for eternally. No. It remains. How it remains now we know. Thousands and thousands of temples and priests and monks and books are destroyed. Fortunately, whatever is there also is enough, because the Hinduism, etc., some religions have this. It doesn't matter how many temples are demolished. Even if one temple is there, it can multiply. Correct? Every time new temples are coming up. Because philosophy is intact. That's the best service to support whichever religion is to understand the philosophy behind that religion. Understanding philosophy and living life accordingly will be the greatest contribution for keeping the religion intact and alive. A religion, its power decreases is because of the followers. The followers become incapable of understanding the philosophy, and followers become incapable of practicing the religion. Religion is held by whom? Is held by the living individuals. So those living individuals must be spiritual, so that the religion can survive. There are many religions are already gone. There's nobody to follow that. Other day I was talking to one group, one religion, very small group is there, hardly few, 30-40 families are there in Singapore. So he was joking and telling me, Swami, the day is not very far that our religion will be found in the museum, because there is nobody to practice our religion. Zoroastrian religion. There are very few people, though there are thousands in the world, but relatively one of the smallest community of that religion. Anyway, we'll take next. Thank you. Om Shanti.